And now with the Lou Harry Gets Real cultural update for roughly mid-September to roughly mid-October, and I hope those weeks aren't rough for you. Here are some events happening in the central Indiana area on the arts front. Holler on the Hill is happening September 21st and 22nd at Garfield Park. This is a music festival. Schedule includes performances by Citizen Cope, Mount Joy, Nikki Lane, and others. There's a vendor village, a lineup of food trucks, and a communal hangout area. Get down to Garfield Park on the south side and enjoy Holler on the Hill. Up at the Palladium in Carmel, Steve Martin and Martin Short returning on September 26th. Down in Bloomington, the Lotus World Music Festival. How many people have been to the Lotus World Music Festival? Yeah. There was one or two, three, that's okay. An amazing lineup of music by people you never heard of, and that does not matter. These are music from all over the world, incredibly curated, multiple venues. If you're in the mood for an Argentinian folk singer accompanying herself on the Andean lute, sure, it's there. Modern string music from Sweden, it's there. That's sort of a hint of what's going on. And the restaurants have food outside their places. You stop by, you grab a bite. You don't like something, you go to another venue, get an all festival pass and have a good time. There's also a free outdoor concert as part of that. Check out the Lotus World Music Festival in Bloomington. Footlight Musicals is doing the fabulous musical Ragtime, September 27th to October 13th. This is actually a musical where I really appreciate it when a community theater does a show, because this needs a big cast and a big sound, and Footlight Musicals is taking on that at the Hedbeck Theater. At the Cabaret, September 27th and 28th. I've been waiting for this guy to get a gig there for a long time. Tony Yazbek. Tell us about Tony Yazbek, Shannon.
Tony Yazbek is a song and dance man, Broadway star. He's Tony nominated for his work on The Town. And he is actually, we were just talking about this because he's just been cast to play Cary Grant.
Cary Grant in a new musical.
About Cary Grant on LSD.
Yes. His experience on LSD. You know, it's a shame. Every musical's like every other musical.
Right?
You know? But Tony Yazbek is going to be starring.
He won't be on LSD while he's with us, but
That's right.
You can imagine it while he's there.
But yeah, an amazing performer. I saw him in On the Town, saw him in Animal Crackers in Chicago. Just a wonderful performer. I'm looking forward to that. Over at the Athenaeum, September 27th to October 6th, they're doing The Wiz. They're heading down the road with a local production of The Wiz. That should be a good one. At CZS Indianapolis, a certain friend here at the table is involved in science fiction double feature, the improvised rockin' horror show on October 4th to November 2nd. Tell us what that is all about.
Yeah.
So that's a fully improvised rock musical with a live band, my own band, Count Rockula. We sing songs about monsters. It's a true double feature. There'll be 2 features every night. There is a wheel of monsters that the audience gets to spin, and then from that we will improvise a musical that pays tribute to the classic sci-fi horror B-movies of the 30s to the 60s.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that. October 4th through November 2nd. That's at CCS Indianapolis on Mass Ave. Pre-Enact Indie is returning to East 16th Street on October 5th. For those of you outside of the Indianapolis world, some stuff happens here that doesn't happen anywhere else, and this is something unique. A neighborhood is reimagined as 3 blocks are transformed via actors, interactive spaces, music, and more. Don't look for standard street fare. Effort developed by the Harrison Center for the Arts in conjunction with neighbors and neighborhood groups is about exploring what a neighborhood could be. A very unique creation. Pre-Enact Indie is October 5th. Shortly after that, the Heartland Film Festival comes back, and they just announced that the opening show is the Tom Hanks movie about Fred Rogers. It's going to be opening here before it's out in theaters, leading off the Heartland Film Festival October 10th through the 20th at various locations. October 11th, Trevor Noah is coming to IU Auditorium in Bloomington. October 11th and 12th, also back at the Cabaret, another one I'm looking forward to. Lilius White is there, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I had a moment of doubt, like, oh no, I either screwed that up or she canceled.
No, she's a goddess. But
She's
I'm
amazing.
laughing because it goes back to our earlier discussion because she actually hands down does the best rendition of "Don't Rain on My Parade" that I've ever heard. So it's like, I
If you don't know her, she was in a musical called The Life on Broadway. She's been in Dreamgirls. I saw her in a tryout of a musical called Gotta Dance in Chicago that's now called Halftime, about a group of seniors who try to create a halftime show. It's based on a documentary, and she was in the production that was in Chicago.
Well, she was also on Once on This Island and was one of the voices of one of the characters in Hercules, which I did not know that piece of it too. She's done a lot of
amazing career. A show called From
awesome.
Brooklyn to Broadway, and that is happening at the Cabaret. At Bankers Life Fieldhouse, Hugh Jackman, the man, the music, the show, is coming October 12th. Hugh Jackman, just before he goes back to Broadway in The Music Man, is going to be performing at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. On the funny front, Nick Kroll is coming to the Egyptian Room of the Murat on October 12th. And his film, Olympic Dreams, has been at the Indie Film Festival, and I think it's back at Heartland. Interesting stuff from the Oh Hello show and the Kroll show and all of that. Indiana Repertory Theater, doing some bold choices this year. October 15th to November 10th, they're doing a show called And So We Walked. It's a one-woman play that merges past, present, with dreams as a Cherokee woman journeys along the Trail of Tears at the Indiana Repertory Theater. Also on that upbeat front, 1984, October 16th through 17th, up in West Lafayette, the touring Aquila Theater will be visiting Purdue University for that show. Indie Bard Fest, if you want to take on a pile of Shakespeare, October 17th through the 27th. Productions of Hamlet, Henry IV, Part 1, and The Tempest, and others are going to be happening at Indie Fringe and the District Theater. Anyone else here involved with something that... Step on the mic real quick. Tell us what else you're working on.
No Exit Performance is putting on The Birds, a sequel to the Hitchcock thriller, and that is going to be on the former campus of the Central State Asylum on the near west side. It's going to be fun. Open September 27th for about 3 weekends.
Fantastic. No Exit does a lot of site-specific productions here in the area. That'll be interesting. Jim, did you have something else?
Yeah, Saturday, October 5th, will be in Bloomington, Bloomington's first improv festival. It's a full-day event called the B-Town Improv Hoedown. During the day, we have improv workshops on the applied side, or improv for educators, improv for improving public speaking confidence, improv for design facilitation. Then on the performance side, we have improv for beginners, for teens, and an advanced long-form workshop. In the evening, we're doing a comedy sports match, and then a special late-night showing of science fiction double feature in Bloomington. All of that will benefit Camp Yes And, which is our free summer camp. So please come join the fun.
Fantastic. For those who are just listening to the Cultural Update, tell us about Camp Yes And.
Camp Yes And is a free summer camp that I help to run at Indiana University. It's for youth on the autism spectrum and educators, and we teach improv as a method to strengthen communication and increase social connection.
And something I want to add that's coming up, not quite sure if it's next month or the month after, but something's going to be happening right here. A project that I've been wanting to get started for quite a while. I'm kind of enamored with play readings. And a couple of months ago, we did a reading of the Stephen Dietz play Bloomsday here and had a wonderful response to that. We could not podcast that because that was a licensed play by a writer from outside the area. But I've been wanting to find a way to help megaphone the voices of Indiana writers. And so we are going to be putting a call out for plays by Indiana writers that would work in the live format here, and we would record them for podcasting. It's a project I've been wanting to do for a while. We're going to guinea pig it with a play of mine just to test it out and see how things work. And then we're going to start putting those out there. So we're going to be putting a call out for playwrights to send their work that they think will work with a small cast and will work for the ear as well as the eye here. We hope to be alternating those with the regular podcast every month. So I hope you'll come out to those, support that event. We're looking for sponsors if anyone's interested in sponsoring such a thing. And we want to be able to do that because this way playwrights, one, you'll have a great experience here, a unique experience here at the Aristocrat, but also when a playwright writes a play and it gets a small production somewhere, it may not have an opportunity to get seen elsewhere. And this is a way that playwrights will be able to not just say, hey, will you read my script? They'll be able to say, hey, here's a link, listen to it the next time you're commuting and tell me what you think. So hopefully we'll get some of the work outside of this area, as well as maybe interest some local productions. So that's going to be happening here at the Aristocrat, either next month or the month after. We'll let you know as soon as possible on that. Thank you for listening to the Cultural Update.